Okay, I'll start. Um, that evening, the two angels came to the entrance of the city of Sodom, and Lot was sitting there as they arrived. When he saw them, he stood up to meet them and welcomed them. Sirs, he said, come to my home as my guests for the night. You can get up as early as you like and be on your way again. Oh, no thanks, they said. We'll just stretch out here along the street. But he was very urgent until at last they went home with him, and he sat a great feast before them, complete with freshly baked, unleavened bread. After the meal, as they were preparing to retire for the night, the men of the city, yes, sodomites, young and old, from all over the city surrounded the house. And he shouted to Lot, bring out those men to us so we can rape them. Lot stepped outside to talk to them, shutting the door behind him. Please, fellows, he begged, don't do such a wicked thing. Look, I have two virgin daughters, and I'll surrender them to you to do with as you wish, but leave these men alone, for they are under my protection.
Said, stand back, and they said, this fellow came in to live here temporarily, and now he presumes to be our judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. So they rushed at and pressed violently against Lot and came close to breaking down the door. But the men reached out and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door after him. And they struck the men who were at the door of the house with blindness from the youth to the old men, so that they were wearied themselves to find the door. And the two men asked Lot, have you any others here, sons in laws, or your sons or your daughters, whomever you have in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will spoil and destroy Sodom, for the outcry and shriek against its people has grown, for the outcry and shriek against its people has grown great before the Lord, and he has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were to marry his daughters, and said, up, get out of this place, for the Lord will spoil and destroy this city. But he seemed to his sons-in-law to be only joking. When morning came, the angels urged Lot to hurry, saying, arise, take your wife and your two daughters, who are here, and be off, lest you too be consumed and swept away in the iniquity and punishment of the city. But while he lingered, the men seized him and his wife and his two daughters by the hand, for the Lord was merciful to him. And they brought him forth and set him outside the city
Okay.
and left him there.
On the phone with my family. So the men seized him and his wife and his two daughters by the hand, the Lord being merciful to him, and they brought him out and set him outside the city. And as they brought them out, one said, escape for your life. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the hills, lest you be swept away. And Lot said to them, oh no, my lords, behold, your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have shown me great kindness in saving my life. But I cannot escape to the hills, lest the disaster overtake me and I die. Behold, the city is near enough to flee to, and it is a little one. Let me escape there. Is it not a little one? And my life will be saved. He said to him, Behold, I grant you this favor also, that I will not overthrow the city of which you have spoken.
Escape thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. For his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
Abraham got up early that morning and hurried out to the place where he had stood in the Lord's presence. He looked out across the plain toward Sodom and Gomorrah and watched as columns of smoke rose from the cities like smoke from a furnace. But God had listened to Abraham's request and kept Lot safe, removing him from the disaster that engulfed the cities from the plain. Afterward, Lot left Zoar because he was afraid of the people there, and he went to live in a cave in the mountains with his 2 daughters. One day, the older daughter said to her sister, There are no men left anywhere in this entire area, so we can't get married like everyone else, and our father will soon be too old to have children. Come, let's get him drunk so soon. Come, let's drunk with wine, and then we will have sex with him. That way we will preserve our family line through our father.
Drink wine, and the older daughter went in to sleep with him. He was not aware of it, and she lay down, or when she got up. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, Last night I slept with Dad. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father. So they got their father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went in. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites of today. The younger daughter also had a son, and his name Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites of today.
Wow.
South country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and he lived temporarily in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah into his harem. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said, Behold, you are a dead man, because of the woman whom you have taken as your own, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her, so he said, Lord, will you slay a people who are just and innocent? Did not the man tell me she is my sister? And she herself said, He is my brother. In integrity of heart and innocency of hands, I have done this. Then God said to him, Now Abraham journeyed from there toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and he lived temporarily in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah into his harem. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said, Behold, you are a dead man, because of the woman whom you have taken as your own, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her. So he said, Lord, will you slay a people who are just and innocent? Did not the man tell me she is my sister? And she herself said, he is my brother. In integrity of heart and innocency of hands, I have done this. Then God said to him in the dream, yes, I know you did this in the integrity of your heart, for it was I who kept you back and spared you from sinning against me. Therefore, I did not give you occasion to touch her. Now restore to the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not restore her, know that you shall surely die, and you are all who are yours.
So Amalek rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told them all these things. And the men were very much afraid. The Amalek called Abraham and said to him, what have you done to us, and how have I sinned against you? And you have brought onto me and my kingdom a great sin. You have done to me things that ought not be done. And Amalek said to Abraham, what did you see that you did this thing? Abraham said, I did it because I thought there is no fear of God at all in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she is indeed my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. And when God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, this is the kindness you must do me. At every place to which we come, say of me, he is my brother. Then Amalek took sheep and oxen and male servants and female servants and gave them to Abraham and returned Sarah, his wife, to him. And Amalek said, behold, my land is before you, dwell where it pleases you. To Sarah he said, behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is a sign of your innocence in the eyes of all who are with you. And before everyone, you are vindicated. But Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Amalek and also healed his wife and female slaves, so they bore children. For the Lord has closed all the wombs of the house of Amalek because of Sarah, Abraham's wife.